Hey everybody, welcome to SwJ. Today I've got an interesting discovery and a new project for us today. I was going through my sewing materials and I actually found another pair of my 20-plus-year-old jeans. These are actually the American company, the style that I kind of prefer. So I don't know exactly how I forgot about these. They're pretty rough. I must have put them away quite some time ago and yeah, forgotten about them. It was a hectic time when we moved, so everything was just been kind of packed away. Um, and yeah, this is gonna be one of the next major projects I'm working on. I'm gonna start on it today, and what we're gonna do on it today is just kind of go over them and find any places that overlap well enough that I can just throw a few stitches in and give it a little bit more structure, and make a general plan of attack for the next little while. And then also we have lots of good world news to share with you. So let's get into it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of go over them and find all the holes. Um, Pockets wear out always the same, always right around here. I'm going to have to do a big patch piece in here to reinforce that. What I've been doing lately is taking these little pockets out because I always hook putting things into my pockets. So I don't remove pieces of my jeans very often, but I've been taking those out just because it's been hindering the performance, I guess. Function was the word I was looking for. Um, yeah, we've got a very large hole in the front right thigh, along the seam there. How are we looking down here? This is all pretty decent. We got the Grateful Dead patch going on. Other pocket, not too horrible, still usable, short, so we'll have to extend those as well. Various patches from over the years. Scam skate one is starting to come apart. I'll have to do something there eventually. Bunch of little holes on this side, little itty bitty holes, so at least this might be okay. Probably patch that one up, but this side might be okay to wear. It's just a lot of little holes. And we'll check with the back. There's a big one. We'll have to replace. What I usually do is do the whole panel. I'll do the whole strip along the top. Just do a long piece in there, and looks like I'll have to do a piece in beside here as well. Yeah, all the usual places that they let go. Up top here always eventually lets go, but it's okay so far. And got some holes under here which aren't too bad, so yeah, we've got a little bit of work ahead of us. So for now I think I'm just going to do some pinning and maybe throw a few stitches in. And good world news. I'm just going to have to lay things down here a little bit to line them up. Hope you don't mind. So for all of you proponents of cannabis out there, there's a compound in cannabis called CBN, and scientists are figuring out that CBN is good for your brain. And as far as it allows cells called mitochondria to remain healthy. And mitochondria are essential for brain function. So when they are exposed to CBN, mitochondria maintain what they call a healthy shape. Unhealthy ones kind of curl up into a ball, and healthy ones are straight. And they are essential for brain function. And maintaining them with CBN could prevent diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. It's amazing seeing how many things are coming out of cannabis now that it's more easily studied and people are more accepting of it. You know, it's news now instead of being illegal. And the way that the CBN helps cells also has applications throughout the body and other types of cells. They didn't really go into it that much in the article, but apparently it will have body-wide applications. So exciting seeing what people are figuring out. Some would say finally figuring out about these things. Because it's been used by other cultures for thousands of years to heal all sorts of things, to, well, maybe not heal, but help all sorts of things, heal a lot of things as well. Shouldn't sell it short. Come in and throw in a few stitches there that might hold it for a while. Now one just kind of a feel-good story that I read about I thought was kind of cute. An 8-year-old boy wrote a book. And seeing how it's difficult for 8-year-olds to get published, he decided to take it upon himself to issue a copy to his local library. So, The Adventures of Dylan Helbig's Christmas, an 82-page opus coming from the mind of 8-year-old Dylan, ended up somehow on the library shelf. And somehow was when him and his mom went to the library, he just left it there. He's like, I am putting a book in the library. And when Dylan and his mom got home from the library, he couldn't help but spill the beans. Cheers. And his mom was afraid that the library might be upset, so she contacted them, only to discover that they had discovered the book and they absolutely loved it, and they have decided to keep it as part of their permanent library collection, and it now has the longest waiting list of any book in their library's history. So yeah, super cute story. Self-starter, you know. I'm not sure how many adults could get away with doing something like that, but it works when you're 8. Why not go for it? And the kid said apparently he'd been wanting to do this since he was about 5 years old. He'd wanted to put a book in the library. So he wrote it in 81 pages. You know, that's no slouch for an 8-year-old. And the library put a barcode on it and the whole, you know, proper filing system markings and everything, and it's in the library now. And if that wasn't enough, he's already working on his next book. Apparently it is about a jacket-eating closet. So stay tuned for that one. For now, you can look up The Adventures of Dylan Helbig's Christmas, and that's HELBIG''S, and Christmas not spelled correctly, CRISMIS. So could have used, you know, some spell check, but it was handwritten, so, you know, no spell check. Handwritten, hand illustrated, pretty neat. Look it up. And they're working on getting an audiobook version of it made so that it can be more easily shared through for other libraries, because there's only one. He's not doesn't seem like they're planning on making a run of them yet. Maybe they haven't found the right people. Who knows? But really cool story. Almost as cool a story as finding 20-plus-year-old genes that you forgot you had. I keep saying 20 plus because I don't know exactly. I got all of these around a certain period, like late 90s, early 2000s, so they're all between 20 and 25, I guess, right about now. Cheers. Next good world news story I find is pretty cool is that there's a group of doctors called PaRx. PaRx. It's capital P, lowercase a, and then the RX symbol, like the prescription symbol that doctors use. PaRx, so PaRx. Or PaRx. And they're a group called PaRx Prescription Canada. There is also a PaRx Prescription America, and they are groups of medical professionals that prescribe national park passes. And the way the prescription works is it goes along with some software, like just an app on your phone that reminds you to go to the park, spend 20 minutes a day or whatever it is in a park in nature, and monitors your reaction, I guess, like how your health reacts to the time in the parks. And I think it's a great idea, and I think it will also help to save our parks, because if people are being prescribed to go, then more people will go. And if Uh-oh. Well, gone and done it. And sewed my pocket. Alright, well, ow. And then I poked myself. Alright, well, I'm gonna tie this off and undo a little bit of what I did there because I sewed my pocket. And that's okay, because sometimes you gotta go backwards. Every once in a while, you just gotta take a few stitches out. Definitely not my favorite part of sewing. Has to be done sometime. And where to go? This will allow me to open up my Christmas present. Got a Pro Seam Reaper Pro Seam Ripper kit, and we'll see if we can use this to pop a few stitches out. Ooh, ah. Very nice. Cool. So 2 rippers, different types of blades, and then extra blades underneath. Instructions. Yeah, cool. So for what we're doing, probably want the sharper of the blades. Nice. Alright. Let's see what we can undo here. I didn't even think of the possibility of the pocket being caught in there. Oh man, that's nice. So it's another study, and this study was a sleep study. And what the sleep study found was that if you increase your average night's sleep, and what they did is they started with people who averaged 6.5 hours of sleep every night, and they counseled them on how to get more sleep every night. Pro Seam Ripper kit. Oh, by the way, that was slick. That was pro. That's nice. If there's any criticism, it kind of just feels kind of a little chintzy, maybe, just because it's just all you need is a bit of plastic and whatever. But it could be a little nicer, I guess. But you don't get all that terribly much for $22 these days. I think that's what this was. And Canadistani money. So yeah, prosemer per kit. I like it. I'm gonna call that a win. Good gift. I was given gift cards. If you're looking for it, Lee Valley. Lee Valley in Canada has them. And yeah, made in Canada, Ontario. Chestnut Tools. Chestnut Tools, 36 Mill Street in Almonte, Ontario. Check them out. Okay, since I mucked that up, I'm going to leave that alone and come back to it another time. For now, we're going to go back to talking about getting an extra hour or so of sleep a night. And what they found was that people consumed less food, consumed fewer calories when they get more sleep. And some of them up to 500 calories a day is what they were reducing. And what they say is that this longer time spent sleeping would translate, with the reduction in calories, would translate to an average weight loss across the board for the people that were in the study, would result in an average weight loss of 26 pounds over 3 years. So just under 9 pounds a year you would lose if you slept a few extra hours. Now, I won't profess to fully understand how all of this works, but to me it almost seems a little bit obvious that if you aren't awake as much, you won't eat as much, you won't need as much fuel, you won't need as many calories. I don't know if I would be able to boldly make the claim that this would result in weight loss, because if you're sleeping more, then what are you losing out on? Are you losing out on exercise? You know. So some of these studies that I read, I can't help, and I want to be positive. I want to bring forth the good news, but some stuff you just see through so easily, and it just either that or I didn't understand the article properly, or the article didn't explain it properly, you know. But it just seems obvious that if you're asleep more, you're not going to need as much energy. You won't have as much opportunity to eat either. So I don't know, to me it just seems very like, why was there a study? Why was this conclusion made? You know, it doesn't. But if you're going by the article and just their numbers, and you're trusting in what they're saying, then an hour or two a night will help you lose weight, and it could very well be true. Just every once in a while my skepticism gets the better of me, I guess. And I can kind of see with the shortage of positive news stories that they might be searching a little bit sometimes. Man, the sewing just is not working for me today. I'm getting all tangled up here. It's getting all tangled up. It's in my pin. I don't know how this happened. Yeah, there it goes. And the thread breaks. And since that was the last bit of my story anyway. I think I am going to call it a day for today. And I'm going to take it as a sign from these genes to just pay a little more attention, not just try to throw a few stitches in. We'll actually add some panels in here and do this upright. So, not today. Today is not. It's just not working. Everybody has those. Everybody has those. So, thanks a lot for joining me. I do really appreciate the time we get to spend together. We didn't really make a whole lot of progress, but we found a pair of genes. We looked over them. We'll get at them. C'est la vie, such is life. Thanks a lot for joining me, and I do value the time we get to spend together, even if it is just making a mess of things. Trying out my Pro-Seamer per kit. So, till next time. Keep chilling. Don't forget your cookie. Peace.